Before we start, this video is quite long and contains the basic knowledge of sight reading, like reading clef, accidentals, or how to find major and minor key, and so on. So if you're clear with those, then skip from 3 to 10, minute 3 to 10. You can even skip here and there even more. So enjoy. Hi everyone! Welcome back to the class. Today is Solfège 3. So on the previous videos, we learned what is solfège and the names of each syllables and diatonic and also chromatic notes. And also how we imply on the blues. And also we practice together, focusing on the notes that we use more often. So those were blues. Today, it's time to apply to sight reading as it's written on the class description. On the previous video, when I was singing those blues, like 3 examples, and I showed you also the step above me, some of you might have thought that you couldn't really follow or read what was written up there, but I was kind of consistently pushing you to sing with me. It's okay. So the point of the previous 1 and 2 videos is getting the solfège system used to your own system, verbally, by practicing the songs that you already know. So using something that we are used to in our ears. We practice, we unify the sound and the solfège together. And that's what we try to do on the first and the second videos. As I told you previous videos, many times do not check the pitch and so on and so on. It's because it's really helpful for the relative pitch, because solfège gives you the very concrete and easy to reference system for a relative pitch, because it's all based on the structure. So it's all about the relationship to other note, from the center to other note. So you don't really need to check anything. It's all about relativity. So I said the do is like the center that you always come back to, like the first note, right? On the other day, I was talking with our beloved Professor Guillermo Klein, and he told me this, that in India, they have also their own the solfège system, and their do is sa. Sa means home and center. So everyone in India, everyone has their own sa. And it's exactly what we're trying to learn by learning this movable do system. So just like that, you can have your own sa, your do, and you start from do and go wherever you want to, and then come back to your do. Thank you, Guillermo, for sharing this story with us. What do we have to take care first when you start read music? Yes, there are a couple of things that we have to read first. Very beginning of the step, there is written the clef, whether it's treble clef, whether it's bass clef, and even alto clef. In the jazz, we don't really use much, but classical musicians would be more aware of it. Composers should be aware of it. Okay, the treble clef, we already know, but let's make everything clear. So, the treble clef, what's the treble clef? The one that start with the swirl thing, right? And that one, how do you find the note on there? So, where the swirl start, that's the place of G. That's why it's also called the G clef. So, where is that G? On the second line from the bottom. So from there, the second line, you come down 5 steps, then the extra line will be the C. And the bass clef looks like this and then dot dot. And where between those 2 dots, where the line is, that's the note of F. That's why it's called F clef. So from there, you come down 4 steps, which will arrive to the second space from the bottom, and that's the C note. And the alto clef, the one and then this one looks like. So between these two, the line in the very middle, usually it's in the middle one, that will be the note C. That's why it's called C clef. Next, accidentals, sharp or flat. So you have to check whether there's sharp or flat or multiple of them. How do you read the sharp? Okay, the order of the sharp is, you already know? Yes, tell me. Okay, the sharp starts with F. Yes, it starts with F. And the order of it? F, C, G, D, A, E, B. That's the order of sharps. And how do you find the do from there? So, the very last sharp will be the T. So right above it will be the do. For example, when there are 3 sharps, then F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. So right above it is A. So A will be the do. And that's when it's the major, right? And when it's minor, then it goes to the relative minor. From there, A note, you come down 3rd. So when you come down to the 3rd, the F note will be the relative minor, but we already have the sharp note, right? So the F sharp minor will be relative minor key. Okay, when there is flat, so the order of the flat is actually the totally opposite of the order of the sharps. So sharp was F, C, G, D, A, E, B. Then flat starts from the B, right? So B flat, E flat, all the way, backwards. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, F flat. Yes, F flat. Oof. Okay, so how do you find the do? So also you count from the very last one, the last flat, that place would be the fa, and you come down 4 steps from there. Which mean also that the second last flat place, that would be the do. So for example, when there are 2 flats, B flat, and then E flat. Alright, that E flat would be fa. Then you come down 4 steps, E flat, D, C, B flat, which is the second last. Okay, so it's a B flat, major in major. And then when it's minor, minor 3rd down, so the note will be G, exactly. So it's G minor. And now the third thing that you have to check, so how do you know whether it's minor or major? Well, you have to check the melody note, the very first melody note or the last note, and also the starting chord symbol and the last chord symbol. Usually in the jazz, the chord symbol will be written on the top, so it's easy to really check it. So then you will find it. Before we really go to the exercise, we have to talk about the minor keys actually. I said the relative minor, right? That actually means that when the music is written in minor, you can also use the La bass solfège. Each major scale has their relative minors. We can use the A minor Aeolian scale to assign the solfège syllables to the scale degrees and minors. So, which means if it's the major of it is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, that scale can be the minor scales of solfège system. I don't want to confuse you anything, but sometimes you might have some moments that you sing the minor music and then in the middle, the line, the melody or harmony goes to the relative tonality, and then you get confused of saying those syllables. That happens, and that happens to me too. So if you feel like singing in La bass minor solfege syllable, then do it. That's also fine. I'm gonna bring some examples later when we sing a couple of tunes, and so that you know what I'm talking about. That kind of example comes a lot in the Bach music, like Bach fugue or choral music, because it changes a lot from major to minor, relative minor, or minor to relative major. So you will see. Okay, let's do some exercises. Do you remember the previous exercises that we did on the first and the second videos? So we're gonna do those again, but this time we're gonna look at the chart above me, look at the staff above me, and practice together. So when you look at the sheet or music and staff, when it's line to line or space to space, it means you're skipping one note between, right? So when it's line to line or space, then it means relation of third, fifth, seventh, ninth, and so on, which is odd numbers. And when it's from line to space or space to the line, then it's right next to or skipped one more, which means the second relationship, fourth, sixth, eighth, and so on of even numbers. It goes even numbers. Where do you see a lot of thirds? Yes, chords. The chords. How do you build the chord? You put the third up and you put the third up. That's a basic kind of, idea of how to make the chord, right? So we're gonna practice those chords. The very first exercise, that was about the chords, right? So do, if it's starting with do, mi, either space to space or line to line, do, mi, sol, do. From sol to do is actually the fourth. So it goes from line to space or space to line. We're gonna sing this and look at the chart. Okay, we will sing from the do to octave higher do. We start from each note. You sing with me. Okay, let's start very low. Do. I'll count 3. 1, 2, 3. Do, mi, sol, mi, do. Re, fa, la, fa, re. Mi, sol, ti, sol, mi. Fa, la, do, la, fa. Sol, ti, re, ti, sol. La, do, mi, do, la. Ti, re, fa, re, ti. Do, mi, sol, mi, do. Very good, very good. Okay, how about using all the thirds, which means, yes, 7th chord. We're gonna now sing the 7th chords. Do, mi, sol, ti. And then let's land on to the do, or the note that we started from, but octave higher. So do, mi, sol, ti, do. From ti to do is half note, but on the chart it'll look like one step up, right? So do, mi, sol, ti, sol, mi, do. We're gonna go this. Also, as we did like the previous exercise, we're gonna go from do re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, all the way to the do. Okay? All right, we start from do, but this time I count 4. Do, this is the do. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, mi, sol, ti, sol, mi, do. Re, fa, la, do, la, fa, re. Mi, sol, ti, re, ti, sol, mi. Fa, la, do, mi, do, la, fa. Sol, ti, re, fa, re, ti, sol. La, do, mi, sol, mi, do, la. Ti, re, fa, re, ti. Do, mi, sol, sol, mi, do. Okay, so on the almost at the end, I again made mistake of saying ra instead of la. Sorry again, it's because of my own language. This time, how about practicing again the 7th chord, but as we did, major, minor 7th chord, minor major 7th chord, major minor 7th, which is the dominant 7th chord. Okay? All right. Look at this stuff while you sing with me, because right now it is really important to know how it looks, what you're singing. Okay? So, all right. The 7th chord. Do. This is the do now. Do, mi, sol, ti, do. Do. I'll count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, mi, sol, ti, sol, mi, do, minor 7. Do, me, sol, te, sol, me, do, minor major 7. Do, me, sol, ti, sol, me, do, major minor 7, dominant 7. Do, mi, sol, te, sol, mi, do. One more time, major 7. Do, mi, sol, ti, sol, mi, do, minor 7. Do, me, sol, te, sol, me, do, minor major 7. Do, me, sol, ti, sol, me, do, major minor 7, dominant 7. Do, mi, sol, te, sol, mi, do. Good, very good. How about the combination of 5 and 4? The 5th and the 4th. So, what would be? Do, if you start with the do, then you could go do, sol, that's the 5th, right? So do, sol, do, then that's the 4th. So do, sol, do. That would be the 5th and the 4th combination. How about, yeah, let's do it. We all the way go up. Do, let's do this. I'll count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, sol, do. Re, la, re. Mi, ti, mi. Fa, do, fa. sol, re, sol, la, mi, la, ti, fa, ti, do, sol, do. All right. Okay, very good. Very good job. Let's stop the exercise here because bigger than fifth, actually even the fifth one too, but bigger than that, it can all be covered by the combination of the small intervals. So right now I wouldn't do it, but if you want to create exercises, do it. Do it and practice by your own. Okay, finally, reading. It's time to read some stuff. So we're gonna read the front part, like sharps, where there are sharps and flats, or like treble clef and major, minor, that kind of stuff. I picked a tune that actually you might know, but maybe you've never checked the sheet, or when you're reading the sheet, you might not notice this part. Right now we're focusing on the details, that's why we notice those little parts. So, you know the tune I Love You Porgy? I want to stay here, but I ain't worthy. This one. I checked the sheet and then I was very surprised. And it's kind of, logical. But this piece is all about the third. It's like arpeggios in everywhere, like chords, open chords in everywhere. That's how it built the first A section. So I picked this one because most of you know this, not very detail of it, but kind of know it. You have it in your ear a little bit, and when you read it, you can clear up all the details. This one can be really good exercise, like alternative fun exercise. Not just practicing those do, mi, sol, ti, da, di, sol, mi all the time like this, but by singing this, it'll be great fun. So, all right, let's check the key. Let's check what's written very beginning, all the information, the basic information of the music. So, there is the treble clef. How many accidentals? Okay, one flat. Then it's super clear that one flat is on the B note. So B flat, A, G, F. So F will be the do. Okay, this is F major. Whether it's major or minor, how do you know? The starting chord is F major. The ending chord is also F major. So it's F major. Let's say this is do, because later I have to go low. So do. So when we are reading this, please focus on how, like where it's going to or where the note is placing. Okay? So it goes, since it's a third, since they are all third, especially the first like 5 notes, it goes from space to space to space and space. That's the third relationship. All right? Do, start from do. I'll count 4. 1, 2, 3. Do, mi, sol, ti, re. Do, sol, mi, sol. Okay, until there. Do, mi, sol, ti, re. And then from there, just one step down. Re, do, do. Exactly, that's another F note, which is do for us. Alright, do, mi, sol, ti, re, do, sol, mi, sol. And then the next one is sol, sol, la, la. Exactly, it's la. Let's start from the top again. Do, 1, 2, 3. do, mi, sol, ti, re. Do, sol, mi, sol. La, do, mi, sol, ti. Sol, mi, do, mi. And then, again, the same note. La, do, mi, sol, ti. Sol, mi. And then this, it says a sharp on the F note, so it's actually ti, do, mi. Exactly. And then fa, la, do, mi, sol, mi, do, la, do. Okay, that fa note, fa note. How did I know it's a fa? Because that's the place where we have that flat, and it was the fa, right? Mi, do, fa. Fa, la, do, mi, sol, ti, re, ti, sol, mi, do, la, fa. Okay, all right, amazing. So we just read in the F key, but if you want to practice like reading and get used to more of this relationship, the interval, how it looks and so on, then change this into some other key that looks totally different, which means right now this starts with the space to space, right? It starts with the F note, space, 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 and then line, space, 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 like this. Maybe start with a G. Then it starts with the line, 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 space, line, 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 like this. So change it to other key and then read it again with singing. So I picked few more pieces, and this one I brought is something that I know, but maybe you don't know. I think you might not know. Maybe you might have never heard this piece. This piece is called Peru, Lando. It's written by Blanco. He is a Berkeley professor, piano teacher. And here is the first line. And you will notice that there is no sharps or flats written on the very beginning, which is the basic information, one of the basic information. It's not written anything, but when you read melody, then you will see it starts, the note that starts with is G flat. The chord that starts with is E flat minor 7. The very last chord of the music is B flat 7, which is the fifth, like dominant, of the E flat minor. So we can kind of assume that this is E flat minor music. Okay? So when it's E flat minor music, then what would be the first note? The first note is written the G flat, which is the minor third of it. So the third of the melody is starting note. Me. If I say this is the do, do, re, it is me. So me. So the starting syllable would be me. Let's sing in this pitch. Without counting right now, let's just read the solfège names of each ones. Me, step down 1, re, do, and then sol, fa, space to space, re, to the space, ti, and then fa, one step down, me, do, sol, me, re, ti, sol, do. Okay, all right. One more time. This is do. The starting note is me. me, re, do, sol, fa, re, ti, fa, me, do, sol, me, re, ti, sol, do. Alright? So, let's sing it. One in time. Let's sing it in time, then we will hear the vibe of it a little more. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Me, re, do, sol, fa, re, ti, fa, me, do, sol, me, re, ti, sol, do. Good! Alright. Was it too fast? Let's do one more time. 1, 2, 3. Me, re, do, sol, fa, re, ti, fa, me, do, sol, me, re, ti, sol, do. Okay, when you continue read, then it changes the rhythm of it, and then you feel even like more of the Latin feeling here. Okay, the next piece I'm gonna show you is also something that I know, but you don't know. And I brought this piece to give you the example of La bass, the minor solfège syllables. So, as I said, the Bach has a lot of this, starting with one and then move to the relative key and then again back to whatever. So I brought 4 voicings Bach Choral number 230. There are like more than 300 or 400 of the pieces, and this is one of them. And this one is starting with the minor, and then it goes into the relative major, like very quickly after 2 measure. And then at some point it comes back to, at the more toward to the end, it moves around, but then at the end it lands on the minor key again. So let's read the basic information. Alright, on the top is the treble clef, on the bottom is the bass clef. On the top you see there are 2 flats. Okay, B flat is the first one, the second is the E flat. Okay, B flat and E flat. And what will be the tonality? If it's a major music, then yes, it's B flat major. And if it's a minor, then step down to third, yes, G minor. So, as I said, I already revealed the truth of this, so the tonality is G minor. And the starting note of the melody is G, and that's our La right now, because we're going to demonstrate the La bass minor solfège system. Let's read from La, the first system, first 4 measures. Sing the scale before you start. La, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la. La, 1, 2, 3. La, la, do, ti, la, do, re, mi, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do. All right, so it's already you noticed that after 2 measure, it landed on the major, relative major. So how about reading the bass note? If you didn't really feel like we went to the major part, then when you read the bass note, then it is way more clear. So we read the bass clef. You don't even have to check the bass clef, actually, which clef it is. You just see the second last flat, and that place will be the B flat. Yes. So from there, come down 2 more steps. So the lowest line is the G note, our bass, and right now starting La. Okay? La. All right. La, it jumps up to la, la. Mi, la, mi, it comes down to mi. All right. La, la, mi. And then you see the natural sign? Mi, fi, sol, si, la. Mi, fi, sol, si, la. Sol, natural sign. La, sol, fa, mi, re, sol, do. Again, if I read in time, you will hear more. La, 1, 2, 3. La, la, mi, fi, sol, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, sol, do. You got it? You got it? All right. I'll read also the first 4 measure so that you can really feel that it is going from minor to major and then it settles down at the end of the 4th measure in the major. Okay. La, 1, 2, 3. La, la, mi, fi, sol, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, sol, do. Do, do, ti, la, sol, fa, sol, do. All right. So it really covered the entire 4 measure. If I were gonna start with actually do, do, sol, la, te, ti, do, until there is kind of fine, the first measure, but then after that, the second measure, already you're gonna have a trouble of like, too much of it. So sometimes like this type of Bach music or like Mozart or all those, that era of music, when you read, it is really helpful to read it in the La-based minor solfège syllables. So why don't you read some music? We all have our real book. If you're a classical musician or other type of musician, then maybe you don't know what that is, but most of the jazz musicians have this real book, like fake book. And what I do is just open random page and then put in front of the piano and then read it. Mostly on the piano, but read it. So that's what you can do. Or you can even like find from the classical music or other type of genre music that you never really checked or heard or anything, then and start reading it. All right. Now it's time to give you some homeworks. I'm going to give you some pieces that I know and you show me. You can write down and you sing for me. Then that'll be great. And you also kind of decide whether you read in the do solfège or the relative minor la-based solfège. Probably if it's the Bach piece, then Bach or any classical piece, maybe it is easy to read in La-based minor solfège syllable. So I will give you the example right after this video. So have fun and send me the video of you reading it.